Hello, my name is Jim DeMeo, and I'm reading from the Course in Miracles 167 lesson, the second part of the book, the lessons, number 167. Today's date of the year is 167. We try to read according to the day of the year. 167 is, there is one life, and that I share with God. There are not different kinds of life. For life is like the truth. It does not have degrees. It is the one condition in which all that God created share. Like all his thoughts, it has no opposite. His thoughts are not a reference to something that God is thinking about, apart from us. His thoughts, which is capitalized here, refer to you and I. We are his thoughts. Like all his thoughts, it has no opposite. What God created has no opposite. Seems like there's an opposite, but it's temporary, fleeting, changeable. What God created is totally stable, eternal, and unchangeable. We think we can muck it up, but we can't. God protects us from doing that. So if you realize that you're a thought, then the next makes sense. There's no death, because what God created shares his life. There's no death, because an opposite to God does not exist. There's no death, because the Father and the Son are one. Look, if someone you love has passed away, there are people I love who have passed away. It's tempting to feel like you've lost them. Sure, it's a powerful human temptation, and it may even take some time to get free of that temptation. But what I offer to you is they're right here now with you, more than willing to help you. They love you now even more than they did when they lived in this world of confusion. There is no death because the Father and the Son are one. The great joy that they experience, they want to share with you. They can, only if you let them. That would mean giving up the memory. Let go of the memory so they can share with you now. In this world, there appears to be a state that is life's opposite. You call it death. Yet we have learned that the idea of death takes many forms. It is the one idea which underlies all feelings that are not supremely happy. It is the alarm to which you give response of any kind that is not perfect joy. That's our natural state when we're free of all the illusions. Joy. All sorrow, loss, anxiety, suffering, pain, even a sigh of weariness, a slight discomfort, or the merest frown, acknowledge death. And thus deny you live. You think death is of the body, yet it is but an idea irrelevant to what is seen as physical. A thought is in the mind. It can be then applied as mind directs it. But its origin is where it must be changed, if change occurs. There are many people trying to help others, right? you see suffering, maybe with someone you really love, and you just want to do anything you can to help them stop suffering. But you see, what you do on the outside in the physical world has the illusion of working, but very quickly you see it's not working anymore. No, to help someone, you need to help them change their mind. That would mean that you've positioned yourself with that person so that they can trust you. So when you're confronting, you're just making the other person less stressful and more afraid. Let them tell you what they're thinking. Don't be afraid. Let them tell you. And when you get to the thought that produces the behavior, you now have the opportunity to help them change. Change occurs in thinking first. The emphasis this course has placed on the idea, on that idea, is due to the centrality in our attempts to change your mind about yourself. It is the reason you can heal. It is the cause of healing. It is why you cannot die. Its truth established you as one with God. Death is the thought that you are separate from your Creator. It is the belief. Conditions change, emotions alternate because of causes you cannot control, you did not make, you can never change. It is the fixed belief. Ideas can leave their source. Can an idea leave its source? And take on qualities the source does not contain. Becoming different from their own origin, apart from it, in kind as well as distance, time and form. Death cannot come from life. Ideas remain united in their source. They can extend all their source contains. In that, they can go far beyond themselves, for they cannot give birth to what was never given them. As they are made, so their makings be. As they were born, so then give birth. And where they come from, there will they return. The mind can think it sleeps, but that is all. It cannot change what is its waking state. It cannot make a body, nor abide within a body. What is alien to the mind does not exist because it has no source. That's why we call it an illusion. For mind creates all things that are, and cannot give them attributes it lacks, nor change its own eternal mindful state. It cannot make the physical. What seems to die is the sign of mind asleep. The opposite of life can only be another form of life. As such, it can be reconciled with what created it because it's not opposite in truth. Its form may change and may appear to be what it is not. We may appear to be a body, right? Yet mind is mind, awake or sleeping. It is not its opposite in anything created, nor in what seems to make when it believes it sleeps. So what we make is temporary. What we create is eternal. Why? Because we are eternal. Being created by God. Being created by our source. Since we're created by our source, by God, we are one with that source. We create, co-create. It's eternal. The making is what happens when we lose our mind, when we become afraid. God creates only mind awake. He does not sleep, and his creations cannot share what he gives not, nor make conditions which he does not share with them. The thought of death is not the opposite of thoughts of life. Forever unopposed by opposites of any kind, the thoughts of God, capital T, thoughts of God, that would be you and I, remain forever changeless, with the power to extend forever changelessly, but yet within themselves, for they are everywhere. So our loved ones who have passed on are still extending themselves. It's their nature, it's our nature. Just allow your mind to connect, and your loss will be over. What seems to be the opposite of light is merely sleeping. When the mind elects to be what it is not, and to assume an alien power which it does not have, a foreign state it cannot enter, or a false condition not within its source, it merely seems to go to sleep a while. It dreams of time, an interval in which what seems to happen never has occurred. The changes wrought are substance-less, and all events are nowhere. When the mind awakes, it but continues as it always was. A great musician, my early life love, Tom Petty, wrote, "Wake up. Wake up now. Time to wake up. It's waking up time." Let us today be children of the truth and not deny our holy heritage. Our life is not as we imagine it. Who changes life because he shuts his eyes or makes himself what he is not because he sleeps and sees in dreams an opposite to what it is? We will not ask for death in any form today, nor will we let imagined opposites to life abide even an instant, where the thought of life, eternal, has been set by God himself. What kind of a life would we have if we realized who we are and what we are? His holy home we strive to keep today as we established it and wills it to be forever and forever. He is Lord of what we think today, and in his thoughts, which have no opposites, we understand there is one life that we share with him. Let go and share with him. It's not about doing, it's about being. With all creation, with their thoughts as well, whom he created in a unity of life that cannot separate in death, and leave the source, capital S, of life from where it